Hello once again, you're welcome to another video on the Ugamade Football channel. Um, Today I'll be giving my review of the Spurs versus Chelsea game. I know I had a quick one um, yesterday just after the match ended, and after I had some time to think, I wanted to also give yet another preview and give some more sort of insight and perspective respect to what I think about the game. So let's crack on. Now, to firstly, I repeat, I have never been so disenchanted by a winning performance, by a performance that got Chelsea a win, even a 1-0 win. I've been happier with the performances of certain draws, not this season, but overall since I've been supporting Chelsea. I've been happier with certain draws, the performances the team have put out there. Don't get me wrong. I love the win. I love the fact that the team won. you know, because if you look at it on the flip side, there have been games this season where Chelsea has played so well in terms of dominating the ball with possession, creating chances, but not converting those chances. So, so to have the team actually score 4 goals, Jackson score a hat trick, you know, that is in itself a victory. But the performance was poor, especially in the first 20 minutes. Spurs were actually running riot. He dominated the play. Yeah, integrate passing. Madison was in song. Kulusevski as well. Son as well. Played very well. And then um, the right Colwell deflection led to the Spurs first goal, to Spurs goal. Now, and that is why you don't play a left centre back at left back or a right centre back at full back, at right back, because of the type of runs they make, because of the type of positions they take up on the pitch. Because if you had a winger, I mean a left back, he would have positioned himself out by the left back position and would have been able to check the runs there. But he was always having to cut in, check in, and not get out to his winger quick enough, which he would have ordinarily done if he's a natural left fullback, left back. So that's the first thing I want to talk about. The start was very slow. And I know I've said that before, that if Chelsea continues with starting games so slow, you know, end up losing games when you come up against better sides. Spurs scored that goal fair just to them. And then after the um, dodgy tackle, that saw him got a yellow card, which could have been a red card because he flew in two-footed. So got a yellow card, and then that seemed to spur the team on. No pun intended. That seemed to um, light a fire in the belly of Chelsea players, and they got back in the game. They began to sort of at least put more pressure on the Spurs midfield, especially Gallagher, who played well yesterday. Um, and then the penalty, the penalty, which led to, and then that led to the Enzo penalty. Now, there's something that happened during the game, and that had to do with Romero. Even before he fouled or he almost broke Enzo Fernandez's leg, he should have been off, because he's up from. When I heard what the commentator said during the game, I to myself, are we now making up words to defend poor actions or poor officiating? Because Romero actually kicked out Alcoa, and he didn't have to. He kicked out Alcoa, and that should have been a straight red. But they ended up saying, oh, it was petulant as opposed to violent. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. And it shouldn't matter. It shouldn't be he actually went out to hurt the player. What actually happened? So he should have been sent off. And then the game progressed, got a penalty. Palmer, wonderful penalty as well, because the way he played it, like I said in the live yesterday, the goalkeeper had to save that penalty. He didn't play it in a way where the goalkeeper could easily save it. He played in a way where the goalkeeper had to actually save it, make an effort, because you have some penalties that players take, and the goalkeeper, just the mere fact they move in the right direction, they make the save. But with this, Cole Palmer actually played the penalty very well, and that's why the force of the kick, the pace behind the shot was just too much for Vicario. Now that was the penalty, and then I think the first half ends 1-1, and then in the second half, um, what they call Spurs now are now playing a high line, playing a ridiculous high line, and this will lead to something I'll be getting to later on in this video. Spurs are playing a very high line, and what got me frustrated, and why many people in the media, YouTube creators, fans, are sort of disappointed with Chelsea, was it sort of seemed like they didn't know what to do playing against a team that were two men down. It almost seemed like they didn't know what to do. And it seemed so easy. It seemed so easy. Make the runs from deep, latch up to the pass, and you have a goal. Because and Ange Postecoglou was playing a ridiculous high line that you shouldn't even be playing when you have all 10 men or have all 11 players and have all 10 outfield players on the pitch. You shouldn't be playing such ridiculously high line. And the Spurs players were not doing anything to really interfere with the runs of the Chelsea forwards. What the problem was, I would say it was twofold, because one, the attackers, the forward players like Nicholas Jackson, Sterling, and then Mudryk when he came on, they're all players with pace, but for some reason they could not be patient enough. They could fail to time their runs properly, and they were always getting caught offside. Then the people who were in possession, the Chelsea players who were in possession of the ball, who were making the passes, like your Reece James and your Palmer's. Though Palmer played very well, taking nothing away from him. But for some reason, they were overhitting the passes, which then gave Vicario the opportunity to either run out and intercept the pass, because the pass was overhit. The passes were overhit time and time and time and time again, time and time again. And this team, Pochettino, needs to get his act together. He needs to pull these boys together and tell them, be patient, calmer, 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 be patient. Calmer, be patient. So, could have scored, it would have been 10-1. Could have been 10-1. They had that many chances. Jackson missed a lot of chances, gilt-edged chances. Chances where it was much easier to score than to miss. And he did what was more difficult, which was to miss. Imagine the header that came across, just across goal, make a contact with your head and the ball is in the net. But rather he decided to head the ball into the ground, and then that gave Højbjerg the opportunity to sort of intercept the ball, and it went over the post. And there's this thing that Jackson does, rather than attack across, across in the box, he has this way of leaning back that doesn't give him enough momentum to strike the ball with power, and allows the defender to intercept him, and then he kicks the ball. He misses the chance, and that happened again against Spurs. So Pochettino has some retooling, reworking to do with this team. 1,000% he does. 1,000% he does. Now, enough about Chelsea. I'll be talking about Spurs in a minute. So happy we won. got the points. I hope this gives the team some renewed confidence that, okay, we didn't play so well, or we can even say we played poorly, but we won. And we won, sort of with a convincing scoreline, though the performance itself wasn't convincing, but the scoreline was convincing. So hopefully this boosts the team's confidence going to the City game and then going to the game for the rest of the season, especially after the international break. Now, a little bit about Spurs, permit me. The media seems to have some sort of love-in with Ange for whatever reason, because he plays attacking football. And I've said before that I like the way he set the team up to play for the most part. But this loving of calling Spurs brave, of calling him and calling Ange brave because he played a high line, is just silly. It's silly business. Even if you're 11 men, you don't play such a ridiculous high line, especially when you know the caliber of forwards that Chelsea have. Even if they're not the most prolific strikers at this moment, even if the forwards are not the most prolific at the moment, they're not the most confident at the moment, but they have one thing, which is pace. Pace. And when you have pace, you have a chance. It may mean that you miss a lot of chances if you're not confident, if you're not top notch at that moment. You may miss a lot of chances, but you would still have lots and lots of chances, especially when a team plays such a high line. So this whole thing you hear on Talk Sports and different pundits, ESPN FC and the likes of them going on to say, he was and Postecoglou was brave playing the high line. That's just silly because you never win anything that way. Never. Look at Pep, because Pep seems to be like the progenitor of attacking football, tiki taka, high press. Look at Klopp, high octane, heavy metal football. When you go a man down, you go two men down. You find a way to stay in the game, because Spurs were not in the game. Though they had a couple of chances, they were not in the game. They were not in the game because at some point it seemed like the high line was now had a life of its own. Like it was its own game that they were playing. Like that was meant to give them, like, if we keep this high line and to the end of the game, we get some sort of extra points or brownie points. So that was silly season. And I'll say this: if Jose Mourinho or Conte or even presently Ten Hag, by virtue of his tactical sort of setup, has caused his team has caused Man United, for instance, to ship 4 goals, no one in the media would be praising him, would be praising Ten Hag for being brave. No one would. No one would. So this is my message to you, sports fans. This means you're a small club because they don't expect you to win. Most people don't expect you to do anything, so you're just there to amuse people. So go ahead and play recklessly, leave yourself open to counter-attack, leave yourself open to conceding goals. One thing as a manager, you should be able to have in-game management skills to manage the game. You come up with your normal starting lineup, you come up with your normal tactics. But when things happen in-game, as a result of maybe what the opposition has done, or you're getting an injury or a red card, then you should be able to sort of adapt your game to suit the game, if you know what I mean. If you're able to adapt the way your team has set up, adapt your team's tactics to suit the challenges on field. So that's it for me on today's video. I hope you smash the like button and subscribe to this channel, and I'll see you on yet another video. And I think that would be the preview to the Chelsea Man City game. Let's go, come Chelsea.